Got it. Okay, let's wait lah. Okay, I think we are live.
Hello.
Okay, yes, we are live. Hello parents, this is Coach John here again from Learning Out of the Box, and today I have a very good friend of mine. Hi Jonathan.
Hi John, how are you? Thanks for
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, even though our names are John, but we are not brothers. Yeah. Okay, so Jonathan, tell me more about what you do, and then from there I will see what else I can say about you. Yeah, because I know a lot about you, but I think it's better to hear from you lah.
Okay, sure. Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan. We actually run a coding school in Singapore. Our main clientele are pretty much MOE schools. Our teachers have taught in about 36% of the entire Singapore school market. So that's quite a bit. We also run a private center as well.
Yeah, and parents, and the reason why I bring Jonathan up on board, because I think right now is the end of the year, and most of the time in the past few years people do travel, but I think for younger kids they have no choice. So many parents like myself is stuck at home with them. Yeah, so probably you're looking for enrichment programs as well. Yeah, so I think it's very important for you to know how do you choose the right kind of coding classes for your kids, because I think now coding is the in thing for kids nowadays. Yeah, Jonathan, I think you are the best person to talk to about coding classes. So could you tell me, like, because you are in the school since for a long time, so how are the children learning coding in class so that the parents can be aware of that? Because I think me, I don't know a lot about the coding classes in schools.
Okay. I think we start off with a little understanding of how the market started. What happens is coding was basically mandated or rather beta tested from 2015 all the way to 2020 by basically the Singapore basically MOE side, right? So the idea was to have students learn 10 hours of coding lessons to get them familiar with coding concepts. All right. So 10 hours coding lessons to get them familiar with coding concepts. And 2020, it was announced that, hey, right now, it is compulsory for all P4 students and above to take coding lessons in school. So that's where my company and a lot of other companies come in to fill in the gap, which is providing coding programs for students, primary 4 and up. Yeah. So I think that's the whole frame. Yeah.
And why coding class? Because I think that we know that now is digital era for our children and myself. Yes, but how is coding important, and so important such a MOE wants to put it as part of a compulsory curriculum in school?
Okay, so I think the key about coding is, I think beyond the basically the benefits of learning about computing, computer science, a lot of the concepts you learn from coding is actually an application of mathematics, application of science, which is something that students who are more hands-on, they would rather do that, because then they get the hands-on practice of basically the math they learn, the science they learn, during coding programs, at the same time have some fun doing it. So I think that's beyond the coding aspects. Of course, if we talk about the coding aspects, then now it's a digital era, like you said. So that's where coding becomes a very important key to basically to prepare your child for the upcoming, or rather the economy today. I think that's where we're coming from.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you about more about the coding scene in the school, because I think I must get as a parent. Yeah, but before that, I'm also very curious. Parents, you can see that Mr. Jonathan is actually much younger than me, lah. Yeah, I look young because of the Zoom filter, but Jonathan is really very young, and you still have the 2 in front of your age, right? The number 2.
Yeah.
See, jealous. Don't want to talk to you already. Yeah, but I think I'm very inspired by this young man. See, I gotta use the word young man. I got 2 lah, but my 2 is at the back of my age lah. Yeah. So how do you end up in the coding scenes and being one of the most dominant players in the schools as in the school network?
Yeah. I joined the industry in 2016. Back then they were looking for instructors to teach coding, so I thought, okay, I give it a try, right? sounds like something, actually the whole idea was I wanted to learn coding.
Oh.
Yeah, at the time I still didn't know coding, but through the days, what happens is, we became an expert teaching all this, and at the same time, because we went through the system, the framework that basically MOE mandates, a lot of us become well trained in coding. So I think that was the whole concept behind it. So I got involved 2016 as a trainer, and then over time there was a gap in the market. So basically there was a problem with so when they first started, they recruited a lot of people with engineering backgrounds, people with IT backgrounds into the industry. And those are great, but not all of them train well. So that's why we came in and filled the gap and say, hey, why don't we make sure whatever we are teaching, all right, the students are able to understand? Because coding can get pretty complex at certain points in time. What happens is we came in and said, okay, let's do our best to make it easy for the students to understand. So over time, we built a pool of teachers with this philosophy, which is explaining complicated concepts simply. So we draw a lot of parallels to everyday things, and things like analogies or just simple things like understanding variables, which is your algebra, right? Students have difficulty understanding it. Our job here is to make it easy for the students to understand and apply them well. So that's what we did. And over time, yeah, now we got 60 teachers running around schools
Oh,
on a
50.
regular basis. Yeah, 60.
60. Wow, that's a big team.
Yeah. So that's it, quite fun actually.
Yeah,
Too many years.
and I think as a parent, I'm also I think I also hear from my friends, then when their children tell them, Papa, I'm going to learn coding in school. Some parents will say, oh, good, go and learn coding. But at the same time, I also hear another parent say, huh? Go and play game. Every time you play game, go to school also play games. Is it true that when they are in coding class, they're actually playing games? And I'm not very sure, so I wanted to ask you. And if no, how is it different from the games that our children play at home?
Wow, John, you put me on the spot, man.
Yeah, but I think as a parent, we
but
want to know, then we can know how to support the children.
So what happens is a lot of times, yeah, I understand. A lot of times, in school, when we teach coding lessons, schools are looking for end deliverables. So project work basis. So the most direct form of project work, that requires coding, and then it comes to a few things. There's game development, creation of games. There's animation, creation of animation. There is website development, application development, and if we go even further, there's robotics involved. So these are the 5 key things in schools and the enroll project. Now, when we talk about this 5, a lot of misconception comes in because a lot of times you see the students finding very nice pictures put inside their project, and then it looks like they're playing a game. But what they're doing is they're actually learning how to build the game from scratch, and it basically from default, right? And when they learn how to build a game from scratch, there's a few things that they pick up. First thing is obviously the computer science, the computational thinking concepts, which is thinking from step 1 to step 10. So step by step, what do you do? And depending on the programs involved, some of our programs then encourage them to think reverse. That means if you can go step 1 to step 10, can you then go step 10 to step 1? And if the students can do step 10 to step 1, then the next step will be, can you do all 10 steps but jumbled up? So that's the thought process they're put through. And on top of that, while they're learning that, they learn how the basic coding functions are involved. Things like if, else, variables, functions. All these are the more technical arrays. All these are the more technical aspects of coding. But the key is there are 5 different aspects. So yes, I know a lot of times they say, oh, yeah, they're making games, they're playing games. But that's what engages kids, I think, as well. They get to play games, learn games. And in that 10 hours, it's very hard for us to do a progressive kind of module. So what happens is in schools we end up focusing a lot on project deliverable, which is what the schools want to look out for. What can they build in that short amount of time?
Thanks for the insights. Hi parents, I can see some of you are online with us. And hello, if you are there, please say hi. I mean, I'd love to know who you are. Yeah. Not many parents, because I think now is dinner time now. So I think now parents they work, they eat, they school their children at home, and when their children are sick, they also play the role as a nurse.
A lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work at home, so not easy. But at the same time, I know that children nowadays they also learn coding, and now things have changed because of COVID, and children are learning coding at home via Zoom from a coding teacher. Yeah, so okay, I myself also send my kids for coding classes because I think it's very important, especially and I know that our children's world are going to be different from your world and my world especially. Yeah. So how do you what kind of advice or tips will you give to the parents in choosing a coding class for the kids, especially when the child doesn't know anything, but he say, "Hey, mommy, I heard that my friend joins a coding class. Can I join as well?" And you say
Yeah.
yes. So how can they choose?
So I think when you're looking at coding programs, the first thing you want to be clear on is, are you looking for weekly programs or holiday programs? Because at private centers, they are structured in weekly programs and holiday programs, right? So holiday programs are designed for fun. It's exposure, you learn some coding. It's usually thematic based. Thematic based meaning it could be, I think one of the programs are doing Squid Game. We have a Squid Game class. We have an Among Us class. So all these are thematic based. Thematic based coding programs are there just to kind of provide like a wide exposure for students to get as basically touch base with as many different um, IT coding concepts as you can. So it's quite a bit. So when we're talking about coding concepts, it's not just game development. There's AI involved. So you can build an AI simulator, face recognition. We can do things like 3D design, AR, VR. So all these things are very different topics or different modules in the coding world. That if you go through a weekly kind of program, it might take you a few years to get to. The holiday programs kind of give you like a teaser on get experiencing all these things, experiencing them at the upfront. Weekly programs, when you're selecting weekly programs, the first thing you want to look at is basically the roadmap they have. What is the framework basically the company is following from basically, let's say you're primary 1 all the way to primary 6, and do they prepare you for DSA, and do they prepare you to basically get advanced placements in school? So that's what's going. So DSA, we're talking about DSA, we're talking about the roadmap. A lot of times the base of you notice the kids are usually working with block programming. There is a structured framework to progress them from basic block coding all the way to text-based coding like Python, C++, which is what we do now. So you want to look at the framework. I think it's very important. Be careful of signing up on programs that appear too fancy, but they teach the same things over and over again. Because we are aware of things like that, and we really don't like it. So just be careful of those. A lot of times, project seems fancy, but what you want to know is what is the in-depth learning. Because the in-depth learning could be the same. It just look different.
Okay, sorry, I think you lost me there.
Oh,
so
sorry.
when you say it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, because I think you can see that I'm not a coding person. In NTU, I almost failed my Visual C++ computing elective which I have nightmare. Yeah. So yeah, but I know that this is such an important discussion because our children's while they do not have a subject which is coding, but it's somehow that you mentioned that there are 10 compulsory hours for P4 to P6. Yeah, so imagine how important it is for our children. And Facebook changed its name to Metaverse, and I think it's like the whole digital scene is changing. And next time our children will not need to go to school. They wear a VR mask. This is for school one. They just go to the.
That's really cool.
Yeah, can save money on school bus. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's not cheap, The school bus are 300 plus per child per person, per child per month. Yeah, so that can be yeah. Okay, so on a more serious topic, so okay, I heard framework, I heard VR and what AR, yeah. Okay, some parents may not be very clear of this. So when you say choose a coding class with a good framework, as well as knowing that what they taught is in depth or something. Sorry, I'm not sure what I heard. Can you give some examples? Okay, maybe we cannot name brands or what. I mean, that's one is taboo. Can you give me an example of a good coding class versus one that is fancy, and then the child comes out learning nothing, but he thought that he has fun. Yeah.
Okay, so I think for that itself, you will have to look down into the form of the program. So one of the very common things that we notice, not just in the the center side, but even in the school side, is a lot of times the parents want to see an end deliverable, the students want to see an end deliverable. So they say, oh, can I build a robot that does this, example. So today they will build example, maybe a robot that detects sunlight, example. And then another program, they say, oh, now you can build a robot that detects the temperature in the room. Example. Sounds different, right? Sounds different, huh? It's actually the same thing.
So you build a
robot
robot
that detects the light, basically how bright the room is, versus maybe temperature, how warm the room is. It's the same thing. We say the same thing because the fundamental back end topic covered there is sensors. They are learning about sensors, right? How sensors work. So because they're learning about how sensors work, what happens is there are so many different sensors. You've got light sensor, sound sensor, all different sensors, right? Because you can create many end deliverables out of those sensors, the coding is actually not complex. The concept behind electricity, which is where your robots come in, right? Robots teach you about electricity. It's also the same. So what happens is a lot of times parents are not aware of this. So they sign up for multiple programs that say, hey, you can build this fancy robot, you can build that fancy robot. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Even down to game development. Sometimes when they sign up for game programs, some of the game concepts are the same, which means the students are learning the same thing over and over again, just different forms, different packaging. And that's one of the things we really don't like in our side, because I think we went through that as teachers, because we started as teachers, right? We went through that as teachers. We are teaching curriculum that wasn't ours. We realized that, hey, that doesn't work, because I'm teaching the kids the same thing over and again. How are they going to progress from where they are to the next step? So I think that you have to be very clear on that. So example, if you already have a robotics program, I think that's good enough. Please don't go and sign up for another one, because it's the same thing. You're learning electricity, you're learning sensors, you're learning how to design a robot, the construct itself. The concepts are the same. But when we talk about progressive, we're talking about, hey, let's start with simple animation, and then you go down to game development, go down to website design, app design. So then at least the concepts are different, you see. And then robotics versus I do robotics, but different forms of robotics. I think that's a little, basically you're spending the same money for the same thing. Yeah.
So a good spread sounds like, okay, I heard robotics, then another one could be like, say, website.
So computer science or coding has wide applications, you see. From basically hardware like robotics, which is the first forms of coding, right? All the way to software. So your game development, animation, web design, app design, software building, all these are different forms, and they require different concepts behind it. So that's one of the advice I'll give. Try to avoid that. Another advice is avoid buying into hype. Hype is great, right? Hype is
What
great,
do you think? What do you consider as hype?
very popular gaming platforms that students play with.
Like
I think
Minecraft?
yeah, I think it's great. I do have Minecraft classes as well. But don't have like multiple Minecraft classes. It doesn't make sense. Because Minecraft teaches you about 3D design. Minecraft teaches you about XYZ concepts, your axes, right? Minecraft teaches you about building an automated robot. All these are different engines of code. So obviously that's a 3D design portion. That's great. Then you want to move on to something else. You don't want to stay on Minecraft for the longest times, because I know people who like go for Minecraft classes for like 3 years. It's the same thing. Yeah. So these are things that you want to try to avoid. Another thing you want to avoid is getting involved in programs that are platform specific.
For example?
So example, so let me talk of Minecraft, right? So if you have a program that's platform specific, that means the company tells you, hey, we have this Minecraft program, please come and join us. That's great. It's Minecraft. And then they tell you, oh, our Minecraft progress is 1 year. So weekly classes 1 year. Okay, very good. Then you ask what you learn. So oh, you learn to build 3D worlds, coding concepts. But what happens is, because your platform is based, you get restricted from a lot of other platforms. Which means, example, Minecraft covers you 3D design, but it doesn't provide you AR, VR concepts. augmented reality, virtual reality. So then you need another platform to do that, which these two platforms works together, forms out a module, which we basically 3D design, 3D worlds, and basically bringing the virtual world to the real world. That is the 3D concept itself. So Minecraft can only do so much. Then you introduce, so a lot of companies, because it's just think about it, it's like Microsoft Word, right? They like promoting Minecraft is like, hey, come and learn Microsoft Word, versus hey, come and learn how to read and write using both virtual tools and physical tools. I think that's what you have to be very clear about. So one of the things we notice is avoid platform-based programs. What you want is, okay, if this is a program I'm signing up for, step one, okay, what are they learning? What are the platforms they use? And why is this appropriate for the age group? These are questions you want to ask. It helps quite a bit. So it avoids them you signing up for platform-based programs. Of course, holiday programs are no issue, because holiday programs are for exposure. But weekly programs, and you're talking about progressive lessons, you want to be very clear. Okay, because treat it this way, platforms, things like Scratch, Microbit, Minecraft, all these are like textbooks.
Textbooks, okay.
All these are like textbooks. Take it as textbooks.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
they're like textbooks, right? And 1 year you can use multiple textbooks. You can have 2, you can have 3. All right. Each textbooks cover different modules, different aspects of a level.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. So if you go for a program, be very clear what kind of textbooks you're using. Don't be restricted by the textbook.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So do not choose one that is restricted by platforms, and then if you're learning Minecraft example, try other like maybe what's
There's
that?
a platform called CoSpace. It covers AR.
CoSpace.
Yeah, CoSpace. It covers AR, VR. So after you learn to build the 3D world and you want to do virtual reality, you can do it.
Wow.
We can broadcast the animation. Like Pokemon Go, you can play on your phone. Quite cool. Right?
Wow, so interesting.
Yeah.
So these are the toys that our children play nowadays compared to last time compared to the toys that we played when we were younger. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to ask about DSA, but I think let's keep it to the last part, because I think it's something many parents will be very keen on DSA. Yeah, it's always a in thing for parents, especially when they know that their kids are taking PSLE. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I want to ask about AI in a sense. Yeah. So AI, sometimes I know that if misunderstood, it could be a hype-up word. Yeah, like for example, anyone can just come up with a coding class and a coding class, say, hey, I'm going to teach your child AI. Then the parents say, what AI? Wow, so good. Let me go for it. But what is the real definition of AI? And in fact, yes, I think also doing some reality check. What's the right question to ask? How developed is AI now, and also in terms of being able to teach a child of schooling age
AI.
AI,
okay.
yes.
I think for the primary school aspects, we go now to the primary school students.
Yep, correct.
For AI itself, if you want to do super advanced AI, you probably can't do it. So you go to very basic concepts like facial recognition, collection of data sets, and then you're training the model to understand the data sets. So one of the programs we have is basically you play a scissors paper stone game with the computer, but you always lose. You will always lose, because then you will scissors paper stone, then you always lose. Another way to do is facial recognition. So in a class, what happens is we have maybe 4 students in the group recognize each other's faces via the computer, and then they will build a model from there. So they'll build a very simple model. For AI itself, it's a very small portion in the whole coding syllabus. So probably if you are telling me it's a 10-hour, 20-hour program, I think it's okay. If you are telling me it's a whole year thing, then no, because it's just a very small portion, right? So AI a lot of times is abuse. The word is abuse.
Yeah, correct.
Because AI sounds very fancy, but I think parents, you need to be very clear. AI at a primary school level is data collection, data recognition, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. So that means what happens is the AI will kind of take snapshots of your face, and then they'll just try to recognize on. The more photos you take of your face, the more it recognizes you. That's it. Basically the concept for primary school at AI level is building a data set. You're building a data set. Collect the data. That's it. Yeah.
So I think for the fact that you put it as like a to collect data makes it look so less less hype up and like so boring.
Yeah,
Collect data.
it's actually quite repetitive one. When we teach this program, right, the students basically to take like 100 photos of their face and then 100 photos of like that pointing 1, 2, 3. So they have to do so because the computer needs to recognize, right? So they need multiple different poses. So that gives them some, Then after that, it's just building the code. Well, the code is not complex. The code is recognition if more than certain percent. So it's a very simple code, but it's understanding the concepts behind requiring of data sets. Because once we talk about AI, data sets, then we move into data analytics, which is a part of computer science as well. How to analyze data, how to structure data, how to filter data. And then that's another portion altogether, which primary school we don't really cover. Most we cover that in secondary school, because then that involves mathematical formulas.
Yeah, I think that you shared about the Minecraft Among Us and like AI VR AR, but I think a lot of times from my experience as a parent, it doesn't matter what our child learns, but I think the commonality is the problem solving skills that the child can grasp as they jump from platforms to another platform. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about DSA, which I think is something very important for parents, and especially some parents know that their children probably is not adjusting well to the mainstream, and they're looking for DSA alternative. Yeah. Okay. So probably I need your help to shed more lights on. So how can a child start to develop the coding portfolio for the DSA, and what are the things that to look out for, and how will the DSA application be like? Interviews, questions, portfolio presentations, blah blah. Yeah.
Okay, you asked the best person, because our company work with a couple of schools to develop their DSA entry.
Awesome. Yes, please share. I just want to know.
Yeah. So DSA, I think the first thing you have to be very clear is you need a portfolio, right? So a lot of you need portfolios to enter, and the portfolios you want to have are projects that your students have, your child has created. So things like games, but if you just submit games, you have a problem. You want to have multiple different kind of form. So if you got games, you got games, that's great. You got animation, you got websites. You got basically applications, that's great. So that is the first thing. So you look into your portfolio base. Second thing you want to have is winning of competitions. All right. So winning of competitions. Now the competition world is another basically another thing to wrestle with altogether, because there's a lot of competitions in Singapore. There's a lot from competitions that allow public entry that are just robotics, competition that do digital artwork, competitions that do software development, game development. There's too many to go to. So what I recommend is try to have one of each, which means that you want to have one competition entry in robotics, example, one competition entry in software, so your game development, website, applications, all these are software. All right, and one competition entry in probably a design portion, so building of worlds, 3D design, Tinkercad. So these are things that you want to consider. And when you have all three, your child will appear basically more all-rounded. All right, and then there'll be it appears very well. Of course, you try to win the competitions, but participating in them is great as well. And so two things. So first thing is portfolio. Second thing is competition. All right. Then the final thing is interview. So depending on the school, some schools have interview tests. They ask the kid to do a 1 hour coding test.
Wow, that's like stressful.
But it's actually usually quite simple. They're either tasked to debug certain things, or they're tasked to build very simple concepts. So if they're able to do it, that's great. Some other schools have written examinations for coding. But rest assured, most of them are block-based. That means drag and drop. So you don't have to worry too much. Yeah. So because if you want to go full on text-based, that's secondary school side, then you will cover. So primary school main entry is block-based. So as long as the child's block-based coding is strong, their understanding of the different modules in computer science is okay. They'll do fine. then depends on then of course finally leads to your PSLE, basically your exam scores. Yeah. So
Oh.
that's a few things you need to do. Yeah.
So when okay, I think the other thing that I want to ask is some parents will be asking, hey, do you know are you able to spot, like spot questions in maths test? Then they'll ask you, are you able to spot the coding tests given by those invigilators? Is there such thing in the coding world?
Yeah, have.
Always
But
come
not
out
all
one.
schools are. Some schools have it, some schools don't have it. But yeah, so basically you must be very clear on the basic concepts of coding. So things like variables, you have to be very clear. A lot of students struggle with variables because it's algebra. It's algebra, right? It's basically applied algebra. So students have a lot of difficulty dealing with variables. So that's one thing you want to be clear on. Then after that, you want to be very clear on loops, your loopings. So if I have a loop that repeats 10 times versus a loop that repeats until a certain condition is met, what do you do? So these are things that you got to watch out for. Another thing to take note is, so you got your loops, you got your variables, your arrays are important as well. So the more complex stuff, and depending on the school, some school have your testing you on sensors and different concepts. So because some schools are robotics heavy school, some schools are coding heavy school. So what I just shared was the coding heavy school guys, where they go for all the coding competitions. And that's where those concepts must be strong. If you're talking about robotics competition, then you must be very clear on your sensors. What do your sensors do? How do your sensors function? So example, if you're talking about simple, some of them I know they give the student test, and then they ask the student, can you do a quick program, so MCQ, right, that allows the robot to follow the line.
Follow the what, sorry?
Allows the robot to follow the line follow.
Okay.
So then they'll give you trick questions, trick answers. So you have to be very clear on those. So the idea is to first know if you are going to a DSA. Step one, be clear. Is your child strong in software or hardware? If your child is strong in software, go for a coding heavy school. If your child is strong in hardware, go for a robotics heavy school. Different school. Once that is done, be clear on the questions they will ask. So coding, we're talking about all your basic computer science functions, your if-else, your variables, your arrays, all this will be asked, your loops as well. Some students struggle with loops, basically repeat concepts, they struggle with it. Then if you're talking about robotics, your sensors must be strong. You must know your sensors well, and how your sensors function. I think these are key things to consider for DSA.
When they go to DSA, as in if they are able to be approved or they pass the DSA test and they can go to a secondary school. So what are some of the schools and how? And I have heard that if they go through DSA through their activity to their school, somehow when they go to the school, there are also other activities, let's say coding, they have to commit to, and it's on top of their workload for school. Is that true?
Yeah. Okay, depending on the schools you're looking at, some schools are super competition driven. Competition driven schools, then you must focus on your academics plus winning competitions. So these two must be good. Some schools allow DSA, but they may not be super competition driven. If they're not super competition driven, you still have to fulfill your requirements for DSA, right? So you still have to do well in CCA and your academics as well. So DSA gets you in, yes, but you still have to study well. You still have to make sure that whatever you're in, you make sure you perform to what the school's looking for. So for DSA itself, I suggest if your child really likes coding, really likes computer science, please go ahead. Because then their whole world will revolve around that, especially when they go to secondary school on top of academics.
So when is the earliest time to start building a DSA coding / or robotics portfolio?
Earliest, I'll tell you.
Kindergarten.
Just born.
just born. Yeah.
Joking. Kindergarten is too young. Probably P1 onwards.
P1.
Yeah.
Then it's too late for a girl.
Yeah, but if you're P1, you start building simple things. But usually what happens is the schools are looking for your best projects. Your best projects. So just submit your best projects. Because if that is something that you really can do, I think it's great. Usually, this is something that important. When you submit your best projects, and if you get called for interview, the interviewer will ask you questions on your projects to make sure that it's yours, and not you copy and paste somebody's one. So that one is you have
plagiarize.
Yeah, there are people who do that. So please be very clear. It has to be yours. You have to be clear on the concepts, and you have to explain your thought process behind. A lot of times, this school's DSA interview, they're looking at your thought process, how fast you think, and why was it done this way. Because I think at the most fundamental of any computer science is you're still designing solutions for users. Correct? That's the basics of robotics, that's the basics of software. So because you're designing solutions for users, what happens is a lot of these people are looking at, first, your technicals must be okay. Second, how fast your thought process is, and whether it's clear and linked to the end user. So example, if I'm designing an application for a community center, you can design. So why is this application designed? So you must be able to list all the steps, the thought process behind it. Why are these pictures here? Why is this button here? All this must be paperwork. So applications, UI, UX, that's another part of computer science also.
Yeah, so it sounds like the thought process is important, the skills, and of course, when the invigilator asks questions and when the child answers, the invigilator, being very seasoned, is going to observe how the child presents himself.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Some of the coaches are invited to interviews.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
you you have to be very clear. Because the coaches have been doing this for very long. They catch things very fast.
Yeah, so we can't buy a project of Alibaba, or we outsource the project to some uni grad. Yeah, side income.
Cannot. Inside, we do have. I think as a teacher in school for coding, because we teach so many schools. There are people who do that. It's very fast. You can spot. You can't buy from Alibaba lah. You can just go online, type in Scratch projects, and everything comes out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but if you don't understand, you so jam. And instructors know where to ask you what, because they if your code has error, they also know. So.
Oh, so sorry. So what I'm hearing is there are some coding coaches on the side. They probably assist the child in building the device. Then
have a lot. That was a lot.
Then I must
so
change line
when
already.
you get asked questions.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
So when you get asked questions and you cannot answer, or you don't answer well, the instructor picks it up very fast.
But I think the instructors may not expose the child, because I think
they were exposed. They were exposed.
Children.
Yeah. So they definitely were not exposed, but because they spotted it, so then you lose points. So they got at least students to interview, so you lose points. Then you lose points, then then your academics still factor. Your academics still play a part. And then of course beyond that, they're looking at your attitude, character as well. Because they want to make sure if I'm in a competition heavy school, it's all team projects. Team competition. So that matters as well.
Okay, I'm just wondering would there be a situation that the child is too nervous? So wherever he has built up, that some children are very good with their hands, but they're very shy, very reserved, and they can't articulate their thought process. And I mean, I'm one of those kids when I was younger. So could there be such cases that the child is built by him, but he just can't seem too nervous, cannot say anything out? Then how?
There will be those cases.
Then how?
Then
speak up. You thought you'll fail.
No lah, not so
no. It's just a joke, parents. Just a joke. Just in case some parents are. You're not sure this is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke. Yeah.
Honestly, interview-wise, we've encountered students like this, but if they understand the concepts, they to be able to articulate one, it's very rare that they can't articulate well, even if they don't explain well. Because you see, we deal with so many students on a regular basis.
Yes.
As long as they say things that make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get it fast, but I think usually if they're familiar, no issue. They can explain very soft and I think the teachers are nice they're not so fierce.
Yeah, like oral like oral.
Yeah, they're very nice ones. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think on the sorry, just to chip in because I was such a child, and I mean, I had my experience of teachers discouraging me, say why am I so hopeless because I can't speak. I'm too nervous. Yeah. So I think for parents who are aiming for your child to go through DSA, I guess it's not just the like you are good with coding or the hardware or software, but also prepare your child for all these soft skills like interviewing skills, how to present himself, how to explain, how to articulate his thoughts. Yeah. So these are things that are by the way kind of thing and must be part of the training by the parents as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Articulation. Usually in coding competitions, there's one or two presenters. You need to present your project, right? So so usually those that don't communicate well, then they are the brains behind the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
guess
that's how they do it.
yeah, but I guess when I watch those science competition, it's those kids who can talk very well. They outshine the kid who is very quiet. And you're right, those quiet ones are the brains behind. But you know, this is how society works.
Yeah.
We favor towards people, be it children or adults, who appear at the right place at the right time and they say the right thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this one, do your best.
yeah, just do our best. Yeah.
I honestly don't have advice for that.
Sure.
Technical wise, it's very easy to spot, and that's what a lot of coaches are looking for. So just take note of that.
Can. So Jonathan, I want to bring the parents through some of the coding enrichment programs that you have because some parents are asking. So, what are some of the coding classes that people can look for?
Oh, so right now we actually are running a game development program. Basically it's thematic Among Us, so it's just happening now. And then I think if you scroll down, we have a Minecraft happening.
One.
Yeah, we have a Minecraft one. So Minecraft is to teach them world building, 3D design. But you notice the age group is 7 to 9. So anybody older, please try to don't go because world building is more like getting the students engaged in building the world. And then we have a Christmas workshop. This one is electricity. We are teaching the fundamentals of electricity and microcontrollers. And all these are available at Kampong. So we have a center at Kampong. So this is you build your own DIY Christmas ornament. So it's just something fun. Come and expose yourself to electronics and also learn the basics, a little bit of coding on you're using microbit. So they're going to take that microbit as well. So a lot of students learn microbit in schools. So we're just trying to combine the technical aspects of microbit with something fun.
So microbit is like a processor plate, right, with a lot of wires and chips on it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And every robotics will have a processor plate somewhere. So yeah. So this will cover your electricity concepts, how to wire, how to do wiring, how to do. So after this program, I always joke to parents, you don't really can go back change light bulb.
Go back to what? Sorry.
Change light bulb.
Oh, change light bulb. Oh, okay. Change light bulb.
Because it does help. Yeah. This is a joke. So beyond that, you learn coding. You learn how to control the lights, control.
Yeah, this is the mindset difference between a 20 plus year old with a 40 plus uncle. Yeah, I can catch a joke until later time.
It's a joke. Don't later say you go coding class to now to change light bulb.
But I think at the first glance I may thought that going to this coding class to create a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. You're actually making the ball. You see the ball?
This ball?
Yeah, you're making the ball.
Make the ball.
Yeah. Okay, no, the balls are available. So
we're here.
DIY ball.
This one?
Yeah, you're gonna make the ball transparent.
And it can shine.
We're gonna put lights inside. We're gonna put sensors inside, wires inside. Make it work.
Okay.
So it's the ball. We're not making Christmas. We're making the ball.
Oh, build your own DIY Christmas ornament.
Got typo.
I see. Hey, so parents, if you're keen to sign up to build your own Christmas ball, you can go to graphiteacademy.com. I mean the workshops are there. So is there any some parents want to join, is there any coupon code that you can offer them?
Oh, have we do have a coupon code. I will probably send it to John. Then John can mark it on promote to his parents so they have a nice discount for this.
Okay, can. Yeah. So parents, if you want to join, just go to graphiteacademy.com.
Mm.
Check out the Facebook page post for the coupon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Jonathan, I think thanks for your time. What would be one key takeaway for parents from this session? Because got a lot of things there.
Yeah, a lot of things. Right. I think the key takeaway is don't get sucked into platforms. Treat platforms as textbooks. They are textbooks, and be very clear if you are covering a certain form of coding already. Please be clear that if you're signing up for another program, it's not the same form, or rather the same content inside. So first thing is treat platforms like textbooks. So Minecraft is a platform, Microbit is a platform, Scratch is a platform, Make Code Arcade is a platform. There's a lot, and we got like 1,001 platforms. They are platforms, they are textbooks. That's it. You have to be very clear on that. Then once you're clear on that, then it depends on what you want to do. There's a lot of things you can do. Yeah. So one of the things we realize is parents, you have to be clear. Platforms are textbooks.
Okay, so parents, if you want your child to sign up for coding classes, like for more classes, because schools are already offering that, check in with your kid what kind of platforms are they using. So if the school teaches what, can you give me an example?
Oh, so one of the things that happens a lot, that's being taught a lot in school is Microbit. So Microbit is a platform. 10 hours is great. You probably can cover. You can probably cover like 20-30% of the concepts behind Microbit in 10 hours. So maybe you want a 30. I think you can run on the program. But once you have one like very serious 30-40 hour program, right, over the year, you don't want to have another one that is maybe another robotic set, because it's the same thing. It's really the same thing. An example of a hardware is could be this robot A looks different, and then robot B, and then you have like 40-hour programs each. That is too much. That is too much. You just maybe want 40-hour program each. Then you finish, treat it like 1 year textbook. Anything beyond that is too much, right? Because we see parents sign up for same programs. Basically same concepts over and over. Then we feel wow.
So it's better off like, since Microbits is offered in school, sign up for say Minecraft or application, phone apps or website or robotics.
That's correct. That's one thing you can cover.
Understand.
You can look into all these things. Another thing is Sphero. There's a ball. Yeah, it's just a ball. The key thing in Sphero is gyroscope, which is sensors.
Yeah. It's a very expensive ball that I have.
Sorry.
I bought it and now it's in the cupboard.
White elephant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Jonathan, thanks so much for your time. And normally for all the guests, I will ask one final question to wrap up. Yeah. So okay, you will know that we support busy parents who teach their children PSLE maths. So may I invite you to go down your memory lane and then you go back to your 12-year-old self.
Okay.
To you, it's not very far. Yeah. I know that when we have guests like 40 plus or 50 plus is a long time. Yeah, but for you, probably just another decade. Yeah. Okay, so as you go down to your memory lane and then you walk down, you saw the 12-year-old Jonathan. And then as you walk closer, he's looking at you into the eyes and he's smiling at you. What will you tell the 12-year-old Jonathan? What will the present you tell the 12-year-old Jonathan? No wrong or right lah.
I would say learn coding.
Why?
Because when I was growing up, it was the the Blogspot, MySpace era.
Yeah.
That is actually coding. It's JavaScript.
Oh, okay.
And that time I lazy. I then so a lot of my friends who got really deep involved in that, they became tech students. They got very good jobs. Their jobs are very well paid. And a lot of them, even though they didn't learn, even let's say those that didn't pick up coding in school, because they have this Blogspot, MySpace background, where they customize fonts, customize basically the websites, they get paid very well. even in a different environment, because the skills are required. You see. You must minimally learn how to read and write code. So when I was growing that time, I never learned. I asked my friend, "Hey, help me do it." Yeah, so that was my time. So the that era, a lot of the people from then came out to be tech savvy. They read code, they write code, they understand things, and because of that, they get concepts. Especially in today's technology world, right? You know, technology moving so fast, they get it fast. They get it super fast.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. And I guess in today's context, children should also learn about crypto and NFT because that's up and coming.
This one, the parents learn first, can.
Yeah, the parents should learn first. Yeah,
because you must frame the context right. Otherwise, dangerous.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I'm not okay. This is not an investment suggestion or advice. It's just like help your children to be exposed to all this, because okay, I think the digital era is accelerating. I mean, it's not even moving fast, it's accelerating. Yeah, so we won't even know what will happen to tomorrow in the digital space. It's so scary for me, like wow.
Super fast, it's super scary. I don't know if you all know, there's a news out of UK. There's a boy that makes 350,000 from selling NFT. You all know there's a news like that. There's a boy, because he learns coding from young, because his parent is a coder, right? So the parent taught him coding. So he created an NFT collection and he makes 350,000 at 12 years old.
Need to take PSLE already lah.
So then he just sold that only to 350,000. But that's aside. Whether he makes money from it or not, I think the skill is valuable, very valuable skill.
Yeah, someone is going to hire him even though he's 12.
That one I don't know, man. But I know he's making good money.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I think for parents, the discussion here, I think on a personal note is I think there are a lot of opportunities for our children. So yes, PSLE is a very big important milestone for our kids. But at the same time, not forgetting to upgrade our children's soft and hardware skills as well, because there's so much required out of them. Yeah, it's not just doing well for PSLE. Yeah, it's about the soft skills and the hard skills. And also, I think bringing Jonathan on board is he's only 26, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I buy 29 only leh. Yeah, so I can imagine like what sort of business venture our younger friends have, and I think there will be even more opportunities for our children. So yes, school grades are important, but at the same time do bring up good habits and good learning attitude as well, because this is the same old thing that will help them to survive from young all the way to the adult world. Yeah. Okay, Jonathan, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate that. So parents, I will be putting the coupon code and the URL on the Facebook post. If you are keen, just sign up. Okay, Jonathan, thanks so much again. I will see you around. Don't go off first. I'll just stop the sharing. Okay.